when India announced its lockdown, within a week, 139 million migrant workers suddenly had no job, no money, no shelter. They had nowhere to go. And 23 million of them had no option but to walk on foot thousands of kilometers back to their villages. When their images came through social media and other sources to those people like me who are living in good apartments in cities, it broke our heart. In fact, we were in a shock because these are the people who live around us. They build our cities. They are the gardeners, drivers, cooks who take care of us. And suddenly, they had no place to go. And it became visible that they make 1/3 of the population of the cities. So when their collective trauma became visible to us in this stark way, what I noticed that there were only two broad reactions of rest of us. On one end, there was numbness and almost apathetic inaction by government, business, affluent class. It was as if we don't look at this problem long enough, it will disappear. And yet there was a bit of shame or guilt in that numbness too. And on the other end, there was rapid activism by citizens like me. We quickly formed a citizen collective. We started Twitter Storm, got into advocacy and relief work. But we also had anger and blame towards the policymaker and business. And at that moment, every single conversation was broken into two: activism or inaction, blame or shame, anger or guilt. We were doing a lot of work, yet I personally and people around me, change makers around me, felt really stuck between these two extreme emotions. And as they say in India, when the student is ready, the teacher would come. So around that time, Otto invited Thomas Hübl, and both of them engaged in a dialogue on collective trauma. And as I was listening to them, I realized that any collective trauma event like this pandemic, our default reaction is either hyperactivism or numbness, either fighting it out or fleeing or freezing in it. And I realized that both these are valid responses to deal with the intensity of the trauma, yet they lead to absenting, which means that we become kind of absent to the felt reality of our own self and the other. And that was an ouch moment, because I realized that I was not practicing what I was preaching. I realized that it's really hard to practice presencing when you are in the middle of fire. Real test, it's not just about great places or places of nature, but in the middle of the fire to practice presencing, which is to step in the reality, to feel it fully, and then act from a space of curiosity and compassion.